Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Anna Gibson and today I would like to talk about certain behaviors and actions I have observed since the attempted Trump assassination. Just a lot of gross comments and stuff that I've seen from other response videos. And one thing I've noticed is that people aren't even afraid to say that they wish that Trump had died, or that or just screaming that, oh my gosh, the gunman missed, you should have taken him out. It's gross, it's disgusting, and yeah, I don't even know what to say about it. It's scary because it just goes to show that people have become desensitized to this type of violence, to gun violence in particular. Now, I am all for the Second Amendment, and I don't think that guns should be made illegal. I don't think that armed officers should be able to should be allowed to come over and take your guns. It's how else can we protect ourselves in such moments? It's like an armed robbery, and people will get their hands on guns. It'll be people like us that are effed. So anyway, sorry I'm not sitting that straight. My back kind of hurts, but just been doing a lot of standing, a lot of cleaning up and stuff. I cleaned up this whole area, or organized it a bit. But anyway, I digress a little. Yeah, that bullet missed Trump by a split millisecond. Now, as someone who has found their faith recently, I can't help but wonder if it was divine intervention of some sort, if an angel or stopped that bullet from actually hitting him. I mean, not even a milli-inch. I'm telling you, it's kind of trippy. And I am very, very relieved that it didn't kill him. But at the same time, someone did die. And so hearing comments from people like it was staged and all that bull, it's very disrespectful. It's disrespectful to the one who was actually shot at and killed, and the family of that person, who was also a fireman and had a family. He seemed like a really good person and did not deserve to go down on that day. But I'll bet that some of these radical leftists who are celebrating, or having a bad day because the gunman missed, a lot of them are just they're just going crazy. Yeah, I wouldn't put it past them at all, and I'll bet they probably think that the guy who actually died in that crowd deserved it. That's how messed up these people are. They think that Trump and Trump supporters were all fascists in their opinion. And it's disgusting. They don't even know what a fascist is. I mean, they just spew all kinds of crap that doesn't even make sense. And it's all propagated by the media, which is just full of lies. You know, have you ever seen someone who who's been who's had to deal with so much hate in their life? Or have you ever, I mean, the hate that Trump has had to deal with is so mind-boggling. I don't know why I was so blind as to not really see it. I I mean, I was tricked by the media for sure, and I think a lot of us are. Is this close enough? But yeah, my thoughts and condolences to the family who lost a father and a hero. Rest in peace. You know, it's, I don't know, I feel very awkward because there's so much hate and vitriol going on. Like, people wish that he had gotten killed. I'm concerned that people might try to repeat the actions of crooks, that they might feel emboldened by his actions. This was a 20-year-old kid who climbed up onto a roof, and they had no guards around on top of the roof. I mean, it was a mess, and I watch it again and again and again, and I see the people shouting out to law enforcement, "There's a guy on the roof! There's a guy on the roof!" And they don't do a darn thing. They're just standing around like, you know, not doing a darn thing, not doing anything but stalling. That's what I think. They were stalling, and I have to wonder if they knew, and if they all knew, except for the people, of course, just the average citizens. If Biden's agency knew about it, and I mean, that's why he hired lame Secret Service to around Trump, like the, you know, people who are 2 or 3, 4 inches shorter than Trump. To, and that's, I mean, there's so much you could go into on all of this, and it's not over. But I'm afraid that people have become desensitized, and that despite the fact that, you know, Trump got up and the first thing he said was fight, 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 you know, his inciting the people to keep fighting. I mean, that was beautiful, but I'm worried that people will just forget about it. And people won't. I mean, some people will stop to think, but others might, but they'll stop. And I don't know, continue to listen to the media, continue to drink all those lies. But, you know, something has to give. And a lot of people are in denial. That's what I think. Now, guys, this little clip here, which I'm sure you've seen, it's really annoying, but you know, it's kind of a good example for why I kind of quit TikTok. Not only am I a little too old for TikTok, I mean, I don't know. I I feel I have a hard time finding a mature audience on TikTok. But I mean, I'm sure you can find lots of good channels. It's just I'd rather just go to YouTube. Um But yeah, TikTok's a cancer. And the fact that they canceled Blair White, but they have this kind of stuff up, it's gross. It's disgusting. And yeah, without further ado, um, my apologies in advance for what you're gonna see.
I just found out about this shit. It just happened. I haven't even had a second to process. You're telling me somebody finally had the balls to bring a pew-pew and he missed! We were a second away! We were a centimeter away from half of the problem being gone and you missed! There was a white man attached to that trigger. I know it! We were a centimeter away! Oh!
I mean, it's like they want this. I mean, they want this. They crave more fuel for their hate. And you know, if you counter them on that, if you confront them on that, they'll be in full-blown denial. But it doesn't matter what you ask them or what you say. You know, if you try to confront them with the facts, it's meh 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 meh. If you try to you know, ask them a reasonable question regarding, you know, their takes on things, it's like meh 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 meh. It's like talking over you, always just irrational responses that don't even make sense. I mean, yeah, it's disgusting. The way people have been behaving. Children talking about, oh my gosh, you had one shot, you I'm grossed out. Well, you know what? This is why it's important to vote. It's important to get out there and vote because do you really want Kamala Harris to be our president? Because if Kamala Harris is our president, then she's going to be a radical on abortion and she is going to allow babies to be killed up even when they're out of the womb. Like if an abortion fails, then the doctor isn't mandated to give care to that infant. Now think about that, man. Yeah, I'm absolutely, that's worse than anything I've heard from any Democrat. And not only that, but everything else she spews is word salad after word salad. Anytime you ask someone what her policies are, they don't even know, because she's just what? I guess, you know, making any sense isn't a prerequisite for being leader of our country, huh? Actually, I think Trump makes a lot of sense, and that the media really twists and completely skews his words so that they don't make sense. He is not dumb at all. Far from it. And anyone who says that he is either completely ignorant or just not the sharpest tool in the shed themselves. I mean, I think it's mostly ignorance. A lot of people are ignorant when it comes to the topic of intelligence. They seem to think that there's only one type of intelligence, when in fact there are various kinds of intelligences. And while one person might be bad at one thing, they might be good at another, and vice versa. Like, Some people might perform differently when they're nervous, such as me in front of this camera. I actually, as soon as I start talking, I have a really hard time because I almost blank out. Um, just out of nervousness, anxiety. Doesn't mean I'm dumb. It just means that I'm not used to this, and I've never done it before. And it's just, I would never think that this would be in my nature to sit in front of a camera with a microphone and talk about my views and my life and all that. It's pretty vulnerable, actually. So I don't know. I kind of digressed there. My apologies. I mean, I know that Trump gets so much hatred, more hatred than I've seen anyone get ever. So from the beginning in my mind, even when I would never wish it on him, even when I wasn't supporting him, even when I thought that he was a bad person, I would have never wished death on him. But I knew that someone was going to try to unalive him. I knew that was going to happen at some point because a lot of people don't like him. Most people, well, they listen to the media and what that tells them, and they're uncomfortable with things that aren't the usual. And Trump wasn't the usual. He wasn't your average politician, if you will. And some people didn't like that. Even a lot of Republicans couldn't stand that. But if you look at his accomplishments and what he achieved, and what the he kept his word various times, and he's only human. Of course, there were things that he couldn't achieve or accomplish all the way, like the wall, for instance, or COVID. But you also have to ask who was in his way. Would he have been able to achieve it if everyone was on his side? Because I can tell you that, like, no one in that White House wanted to cooperate with Trump. No, he had to cooperate with them. And yeah, I would try to get rid of that whole swamp, because they do nothing but impede our success and our progress as a society. All they want to do is fester with our money, with our taxes that we earn. And Trump wants for us to get exactly what we earn and what we work and fight for. You know, from going down the rabbit hole and doing more research, I realized that Trump is not a bad man, and he was not a bad president. He wasn't a perfect president, but who is and who could be a perfect president? Do you think you could be? I don't think I could be. I don't think I could even attempt it. But he proved me wrong about him, or else the media proved how gullible I was. Sometimes age and wisdom is a good thing, as I can attribute some of this change to that, but also the fact that I'm sober, that's a huge thing. Now that I have had time to really collect my mind and reevaluate my purposes, I'm able to reflect on, my thoughts and my stances on things. And yeah, I can say that there's been a shift and just, I think I was wrong about some things, and now I'm just learning. And there's nothing wrong with that. Why would you be ashamed of learning? You know, admitting when you're wrong. Because I feel like that's so hard for a lot of people. But it isn't impossible. And actually, it makes you stronger. It makes you a stronger person when you can stand firm on your own ground. Don't forfeit your integrity to suit a mob, of hungry wolves that they all just want for their own gain, for their own ego. They want a witch hunt. They want people canceled. They want chaos and riots, and they don't see the world for how it really is. To them, it's all, I'm a victim, I'm a victim, I'm a victim. And everybody owes me. Don't fall for that. I mean, the media really fooled me before. I thought that Trump might be a trigger-happy lunatic. But it just so happens that he's not, and he's actually the first president to not send us to war. I guess since 1980. I might need to relook into that. But yeah, and that's really something. And people don't ever acknowledge that. I've never heard anyone mention that until recently. Until just recently. Of course, I would never hear it from the left. But I'm bombarded because I live in Portland, Oregon, or near Portland, Oregon, I mean. And yeah, it's a lot of people I know aren't in agreement. I do have a few friends who, granted, I do have a few friends who you know, who like Trump, and a few conservative friends, but right, the the place where I work, not so much. I just try not to talk about it. I try to just go get my money I'm trying to save and invest in a better life. But I digress. Yeah, do some real research. Stop being tribal. Stop with these thoughtless monsters in your head. And when I stopped the noise and I did my own research on Trump, I realized that he is not the evil Hitler dictator that they painted him out to be. Not one little bit. And to accuse someone of such things, such evils, it's atrocious. It's absolutely diabolical what they're doing to this person, namely Trump. It's like murdering someone's character. And I feel like that in and of itself should be convicted. It's defamation. And I do not think he was deserving of what he got and the convictions that he got. I mean, they went and changed a misdemeanor to a felony. Now, what does that tell you? You can't rely on that. That is not a fair trial when you've got most of the jury with biases against him. I mean, there are lots of things stacked against him. Well, you know what? I'm going to call an end to this video. Please, thank you so much for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe button. if you will. And yeah, I'll catch you all on the flip side. Remember to vote and have a wonderful rest of your day, afternoon, evening. Bye now.